Hi, this is Abhimanyu, and I'm in conversation with Naga Chaitanya about his Bollywood debut, if I may call it, Laal Singh Chaddha. Che, how are you?
I'm good, Abhimanyu. How are you?
I'm doing great. First of all, thank you for the time and looking forward to seeing you as I have been over the past few years, but now speaking a different language. So, you are an established star down south. Was there any apprehension switching languages in a big film where it's not you in the lead? Because other people who come, like Vijay Sethupathi sir is coming with Merry Christmas or Nayan Tara in Jawan, they are supposed to be the lead roles here. But here you are, I don't know if I should call it second fiddle, but sort of a supporting role to Amir sir. So was there any apprehension in signing a role which is not centered on you, a film not about you?
I grew up in Chennai and then shifted to Hyderabad, so my Hindi has not been the best. I've been sort of insecure about that for a very long time.
Right.
And that's the reason why I've sort of shied away sometimes from some Hindi films when I've gotten the offer. And in fact, when I've told people also, that my Hindi is still very South Indian, people have sort of thought twice, to be honest with you.
Right.
But with Amir sir's film, when I got the offer for Laal Singh and I gave them the same, sort of disclaimer, Amir sir was totally comfortable with that because I am being casted as a South Indian boy who sort of goes up north.
Right.
That's where our journey begins,
Right,
So
right.
wanted me to be South Indian in the way I speak. Of course, I speak Hindi in the film.
Yeah.
Here and there, where if I slip into a Telugu word or a Telugu accent sort of slips in, he was totally fine with that. In fact, we also incorporated a few words here and there to sort of bring in the South Indian flavor, to bring in the
Right.
flavor. So all these aspects sort of, I think I needed a transition film like this.
Right.
Now, after doing this film, I feel really confident because we shot some sound also, and my lines were given to me way in advance. So I think this whole process has given me a lot of confidence now.
Right.
To do a Hindi film and to be showcased on a Bollywood platform.
Right.
So I think going forward now I'm much more confident.
Right,
But
right.
of course, the true test is on August 11th. The main
Yeah.
the audience needs to own me. They need to accept me as an actor. So if that test is passed, yeah, I would definitely love to look for more opportunity and see what.
Like you said, you had been a little insecure, apprehensive about Hindi films because of the language barrier. Of course, you have to speak.
Right.
And you said what worked in Laal Singh Chaddha's favor is that your character is like you.
Yes.
Hindi is if it is broken, it's natural because the character is like
Yes,
that.
exactly.
So apart from that, what was the other factor that sort of convinced you to come for Laal Singh Chaddha?
See, you had also asked me a question about not playing the lead and how I feel about that. Honestly, I'm a kind of actor that I don't mind just being a character in a film if that character is taking the film forward, in the right direction, and I'm able to influence the audience, even if my presence is not there for too long. And I feel with Lal Singh, I got that character. Even though I'm not the main lead, the core, the essence of my character Bala sort of travels with Amir sir's character through the film, which I really enjoyed. So I'm very open to doing films that are where I'm not the main lead, but
Right.
I'm there. I'm part of it. That the aura is there through the film. Apart from that, the other thing you had asked me was sorry.
What was the clinching factor for Laal Singh Chaddha?
Of course, when Amir sir called, I mean, the job was done. Like,
Right.
it was like I don't. In my mind, I'm like, I don't even need to hear the script. I just want to work with this man. Understand his process, because as an actor, I've grown up watching his work, learned so much from his work. So I just wanted to be next to this person and see how he works, see what his process is, so I can bring something back to my life and sort of apply it going forward. So that was my first selfish motive, and the second he called, I was sold on that. I was doing the film irrespective. But after that, of course, Advait gave me a narration the same day. When I loved the script, I mean, they've adapted it so beautifully, and
Right.
I think it's really going to touch hearts. In fact, it's been quite some time since we've seen such honest human emotions that are going to move us in the theater. And amongst all the difficulties now, amongst whatever the world is going through, I think a film like this is really going to stand out like a breath of fresh air.
you mentioned the part about adaptation, which is very important because Forrest Gump was so American at its core. It is the spirit of America from the 50s to the 90s. To get that story, to get that emotion, not even story, in India and make it as Indian as Desi as possible is a challenge, which I had a chat with Atul sir about how he managed that. And he said it was a very difficult process. Right. But once the script is written, it's now the job of the actors and directors to make sure that it is Laal Singh Chaddha and not Forrest Gump in Hindi. Right. And of course, we have all seen the film. So we are all sort of influenced by it in a way. And as far as I can understand, your character is sort of inspired by Baba's character from that film. So how did you make sure it was not Baba in Hindi, but Bala in originality? How did you make sure it was not an imitation of a film that you have watched probably many times, like I have?
See, they have adapted the film in a way where they have brought the framework of the original, the screenplay, but the events, the core of every scene, the content, the dialogues, everything, even the characters have been completely altered with. Right. Our, our time, our travel through the various events that have happened. So when it comes to my character, it's the same thing. Yes, the screenplay as such, the direction for my character as to how he comes into Lal's life and goes out of Lal's life is very similar to how Baba, and Forrest interact. But my purpose of being there, my purpose of what I want to do in life, my roots, my origins are very, very, very different from Baba. So, in fact, there it's about Baba wanting to sort of go back and start a shrimp business. Right. Well, here it's, I don't want to break it to you, but it's something really extraordinary, and it's something that's very well rooted and familiar with the South Indians. Okay, that kind of a business that I want to start. So these were sort of redesigned very well. So all these layers itself helped me to, sort of be a complete contrast from the original. So the writing itself was completely different. So I don't think I had that challenge. I don't think there'll be a comparison tomorrow to the original from any aspect, from any front. There's not going to be a comparison. I think you're just going to watch Laal Singh Chaddha, the film by itself.
We had a screening, and Amir San, you were there, of course, with some heavyweights, including some people whose opinion matters a lot to you.
Yes, absolutely.
What was that like? Like stalwarts, like your father, of course, and Chiranjeevi sir, and all those there, and watching you on screen. It is a nervous moment, I know, because to have such experienced and accomplished people watching you. What was that like, the experience and their feedback to you?
Yeah, firstly, we're not used to such. There was Rajmouli sir, there was Sukumar sir, Chiranjeevi Garu, and my dad. Amir sir had requested them to watch the film and sort of share their inputs. We're not used to such screenings, being Amir sir, this is his process. He screens the film to number of people from all varieties of life from the film industry. So it was very new to me. I had gotten used to the screening process working with him, because through the shoot he did screen footage at regular intervals. But this one was very special because firstly, I've never sat in a room with all of them together and got all of them to watch my work. So it was very special, and they had some very, very helpful inputs that I think Amir sir took back and applied it to the edit. But more than anything, for me as an actor, it was just a really memorable moment being in that room with these filmmakers that that I look up to. So yeah, it was just a magical moment. It's something that will stay with me forever.
Something that I have to point out is, among people actors from the South, if I may say, I don't like the divide, but I'm just geographically saying, your father is among the stars from the Telugu cinema who has been very successful up north. Not many people have managed that. Be it Khuda Gawah, be it Criminal, be it Shiva, his films have worked here. He's a name here. So when you decided to venture out and do a Hindi film, did he have any tips for you? Because both the industries are quite different. So did he have anything to say to you, any word of advice? Look, I did this 30 years ago. You are doing this now. This is what I have to say to you.
See, his in fact, when I told him about the role and all that, he sort of reflected on how he entered the Bollywood industry back then also. Both our paths into the industry have been very organic. In fact, I don't think he also sort of directed it to happen or planned for it to happen back then. It happened in a very organic way. Same thing with him. I never really sort of planned to make this happen. It happened. And one thing he said is, to use this platform to sort of do things that I can't probably do back here. Like over
Right.
here, I don't know how much I'll be sort of accepted in specific kind of characters, because we
Mhm.
already have a kind of image here. The audience expects a certain kind of a role or certain kind of entertainment from us. If
Right.
I do a pure character based role, or a film here, I don't know how much that acceptance will
Right.
be. So
Right. Right.
I can sort of play around with what I can't do here. There I'm still I'm still very neutral to the audience. They have not
Yeah.
much
It's a
of a
clean
bridge.
slate almost.
Yeah, they've
Actors
not
will get that chance.
yeah, clean slate. They've not access. They don't know who I am. I.
Oh, they know. They know. Don't worry. They know.
But I'm saying as an actor, they've
Yeah. Yeah.
not formed a specific image about me
Right.
still.
Right.
So I have that chance, like you said, a clean slate, and I can
Yeah.
start writing my direction now. So,
Mm.
so yeah, so that's what we spoke about mostly.
The language barriers are blurring, and I have the pandemic to thank for that. It's a very fortunate side effect of this unfortunate situation the world has seen.
Mhm.
That films like Pushpa and RRR are coming up north and breaking all the records.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping films like Laal Singh Chaddha go down south and again break records. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Mhm.
So this term pan-Indian film came like 5 years ago with when Rajamouli sir sort of demolished all the language barriers that existed. Do you see that happening more and more? A, and B, are you excited about it? Because, like you said, it gives you an added opportunity to not worry about language as an actor. You can be cast across the country.
See, I believe we have always appreciated films from north down south, because they have been projected here.
Right.
They've had the exposure here, but
Yeah.
south films have not had the exposure up north. It has
Agreed.
started recently. I would give technology that credit, with the YouTube platform, with the
Right.
OTT platforms. Our films are now showcased there,
Hmm.
and we're getting an exposure. So going forward, the language barrier is going to blur, because of the whole platforms that exist, and now everyone's consuming all kinds of content because they have access to it. Before, they
Right.
never had access to the South films. To be fair, yes, I'm very excited with the way it's going. I'm with the way forward. It only gives us an opportunity to explore with more content. We have a wider audience to play with. Wider audience means bigger budgets, bigger opportunities. So, in all, I think it's a win-win for everyone. At the end of the day, north, south, east, west.
Doesn't exist.
You make good content, people will watch it. I think that's what we have to go with.
And one of the things is that I don't think it was in the minds of the filmmakers and artists, but the audience as a general tended to regard Bollywood as an older brother sort of thing. That was national cinema and these are regional cinema.
Right.
Has that changed now in people's minds with RRR, KGF, Pushpa, and Vikram even? Like, every industry has given a super hit, which Hindi films have not been able to touch probably. Good thing or bad thing, I don't know about that. But do you think that perception has changed that Bollywood is older brother and Tamil Telugu cinema is sort of regional?
See, right now that's the sentiment that's going on. Fortunately, there have been some great hits from down south. Tomorrow, I'm sure there's going to be a hit from Bollywood. That's going to break all numbers again. So then the trend will shift. But what we have to, I think, what I will always be aware of is the content. There is no bigger brother, younger brother. It changes. From month to month, from week to week. The trends will keep changing. End of the day, make the content that people relate to, and that's the winner finally.
I'll wrap it up with a final couple of questions. I
Yeah.
see you coming up in Hindi films. You are also working on a web series.
Right.
Is this like the experimental phase of your career where you want to break out and branch out and do other stuff, or just happened organically?
No, see, consciously, it's this. The web series was not organic. It was planned. I was looking out for content in the digital space, because I feel going forward, the digital space and the theater space are going to be, equally complementing each other. They're going to, as an actor, I feel we need to be in both places, because the audience is very happy consuming content in both areas. So
Exactly. Yeah.
so I feel that's the way forward. So I was consciously looking out to do something in the OTT space, and fortunately, Vikram Kumar, the director of Buddha, and we met during the pandemic. We jammed over this idea and we brought it to life. So it was a very conscious decision.
And finally, to wrap it up, you are of course coming up with Laal Singh Chaddha, and Nagarjuna sir is returning to Hindi with Brahmastra as well. Very fortunate timing. Of course, these films had to release at different times, and pandemic somehow conspired that these are coming within a month of each other.
Right.
And really happy to see you both return and return and see you here.
Right.
Do you talk about how it has been sort of like fate that your Bollywood debut and his Bollywood return, if I may call it, have somehow happened at the same time?
No, we've not. I've not thought of that until you told me. I haven't spoken to him about that, but yeah. It's a nice thought to go back home.
Fortunate coincidence, I suppose. Yeah. And I hope both films work because like I said, content should work. Like you were saying, it doesn't matter which language it is from. And I hope it works so that you work more here. And we have starring Naga Chaitanya instead of also Naga Chaitanya next time around. And looking forward to speaking with you again, and all the best for the film. Thank you for the time.
Thank you for those encouraging words. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.